I want you out of this house.
Tyler tossed another armful of Sarah's clothes into a box, followed by the stack of books by the bed and the contents of her nightstand drawers. This wasn't going well. Sarah had known her rejection wouldn't be met with cheers, but still, she hadn't quite expected this meltdown. Tyler was a grown man after all, a successful, well-coiffed doctor to be exact. Men of his stature didn't throw tantrums, and this was most definitely a tantrum. Her stomach roiled, and an uncomfortable feeling worked its way up her spine. "Tyler, would you just stop for a minute?" The shock from her not Beyoncé's reaction was wearing off. The panic she'd felt at his proposal, and the complete shattering of any connection they might have had, were coming to the forefront. Hurt inched across her body and seized her heart in a vice grip. But his reaction was even more proof of why she couldn't marry this man. Clearly, she didn't know him. Tyler rarely got angry, and he'd never flown off the handle like this before. At least not around her. He had a reputation at the hospital for behaving like that, but in the year she'd been with him, she'd never seen evidence to support the rumors. The closet door swung open, and another pile of clothes went into the container. Sarah wasn't even sure where Tyler had found this box. She'd painstakingly broken down each empty moving box as she'd unpacked weeks ago. And the rest were still stacked in the den, waiting for Tyler to find space for her things among his. She pushed the thought aside as a more urgent question came to mind. Where am I going to go?
I want you out tonight, he said.
That much was clear. Perhaps her rejection of his proposal could have been handled with more care. But it had been so shocking. And she hadn't said no. She'd just said, not yet. They'd lived together for barely 2 months and had literally never spoken about marriage. Yes, he was 35 and successful and set up to settle down. But at 26, she wasn't any of those things. She was building her career and would rather dance the night away with her best friend than play house. Something she'd told him more than once. She'd never signed up for marriage. Tyler was the one who'd kept changing the rules. First, they'd been a fun fling. And who didn't want to fling with the hot doctor who spent his free time helping at a nonprofit for local kids? But then, he wanted to be exclusive. She said yes because it wasn't like she was sleeping with anyone else. And yes, they had fallen in love. And when he wanted her to move in, she'd acquiesced because she spent most of her nights there anyway, and rents in Philadelphia were expensive. Not to mention, working at a nonprofit didn't exactly line her bank account with dollar bills.